Welcome back. You are listening to the Mario Mukonda Show on Stella Media. It is 12:32 on this Wednesday, the 14th of October, 2020. It is World Down Syndrome month. October marks that month, and Down syndrome occurs across the human spectrum and is the most common chromosomal condition. Each year, about 6,000 babies are born with Down syndrome. That is a 1 in 700 chance. With Down Syndrome Awareness Month, every October, we can be inspired to learn more about this topic and to celebrate people born with Down syndrome and the medical advancements that increasingly improve their quality of life. Joining me on the line right now is Ansela Ramjas, who is the National Executive Director for Down Syndrome Association of South Africa. Good day, Ansela.
Good afternoon, Mariam, and good afternoon to your listeners and viewers. Just one correction. It is not
Mhm.
Down Syndrome Association of South Africa. It's simply just Down Syndrome South Africa. South
All
Africa.
right. All right, so thank you. Okay, just quickly tell us what is Down syndrome and how does it affect a person?
Down syndrome is as you mentioned, the most common occurring chromosomal condition. It's merely, if I can explain it in simple terms to your viewers, um, each typical cell in the human body has 46 chromosomes. 23 which you receive from your mom and 23 which you receive from your dad, making up the 47. In persons with Down syndrome, they have an extra chromosome. So instead of the 46 chromosomes in each cell, they have 47 chromosomes. And that extra genetic material alters the course of development, both physically and intellectually. And it occurs equally across all religions, socioeconomic groups, and races.
Hmm. You mentioned about the chromosomes from the mom and dad. So, is Down or can Down syndrome be inherited from either the mom or dad?
There is actually three types of Down syndrome. So the most
Hmm.
common one is referred to as trisomy 21, of which 90%, 95% of babies born with Down syndrome have trisomy 21. That is not hereditary. The second Down syndrome that is referred to as mosaic Down syndrome. That one is where some of the cells have the typical cells of 46 chromosomes and the others have the 47 chromosomes. And this one is not also hereditary. The only one that they have found to be a link that is hereditary is the Robertsonian translocation Down syndrome. So I would say yes. In most cases it is not hereditary.
Hmm. How has the medical treatment advanced compared to, let's say, the last 10 years?
There's been significant strides in terms of the improvement of healthcare towards persons with Down syndrome. If you can remember in the past, many babies are born with heart defects. About 65% of babies born are born with congenital heart defects, and nowadays most doctors are able to intervene, and there is a procedure that can correct these heart defects. So in that case, we have made significant progress. Also, in terms of the fact that the myths around the condition being that these are fragile children, you need to wrap them in cotton wool and protect them from the outside environment because their immune system is so frail. Their immune system is compromised. But what we have been finding that the more active we keep our children and the more we actually allow them to participate in physical activities, that the better their health outcomes are. And so the perception has moved from what we perceived in the past to be a bad idea of keeping them physical active to where we are now very prone to getting them motivated to partake in physical activities. And this has seen a significant increase from obesity. So a lot of them are now controlling their weight, eating sensible. So nutrition plays also a vital role in promoting their healthcare.
Hmm. What are the characteristics of a person who has Down syndrome?
be their facial characteristics. So you can immediately identify a person with Down syndrome by the upward slant of their eyes, and then also the flat nose, the small facial features. So they have small ears. They're very short in stature. They have a single crease on the palm of their hand called the simian crease. And also their fingers are sort of short and stubby. So they have this very distinct physical characteristics due to that extra chromosome.
Mhm. What is your take on the killing of Nathaniel Julius, whom the police claimed to not have known that he had Down syndrome? What do you think about that?
Actually unbelievable that they claim they did not know that he had Down syndrome, because just as I described, their features are
Mhm.
very distinct, easily recognizable. Obviously, as an organization, we were deeply devastated by the news, and in the manner in which he was killed. And I think you know also the fact that this was a person who couldn't communicate. Part of this medical complications of having Down syndrome is a speech impairment. So a lot of our children do have difficulty in getting the information across, but it mustn't be determined that based on their physical features you can already identify what they're capable of and not capable of doing. So
Mhm.
their receptive language is much more better than their expressive language. So they understand what they've been told or asked, they just cannot express it. And I think that's what happened in the incident with Nathaniel Julius. It was actually for the police to make every endeavor on their part to try and understand him, to try and make contact with the community to establish where this child was from, and deliver him safely back to his home. But instead he was tragically shot in a manner that is undescribable.
Mhm.
So yeah, totally
So
devastating.
sad indeed. All right. What projects and fundraising events does the Down syndrome of South Africa have?
Of the shooting of Nathaniel Jules, we've actually dedicated the whole of October month, in his memory. So we've actually entitled our team for this month as Listen, Include, Respect. We said
Mhm.
listen because we want you to listen to the voices of children with persons with Down syndrome. We say include, we mean that they should be included in all aspects of society, specifically and especially in their communities, because they have the right to grow up within the family unit, and they have a right to be included in their community. And we also find that their rights needs to be respected. So their rights in terms to be able to live a dignified life, to be able to live in their community without fear of exploitation, without fear of being neglected, being physically and sexually abused. And so this whole month we are dedicating our focus on that. How do we bring justice to our children whose rights have been violated in terms of sexual abuse, in terms of being killed, in terms of being neglected. We just found out yesterday that a family has lost their daughter, also from El
Mhm.
Dorado Park, who was admitted into a state hospital on the 9th of August, and passed away on the 27th of August, and the family were only notified on the 10th of October that she had passed away. So these are unacceptable situations, and
Mhm.
our focus this month should really bring attention to the matter, that to the public, that disability lives matter.
Mhm.
All lives are important, and as a society, we should all be working towards ensuring that everybody's lives are protected, including people with disabilities.
Mhm. All right. There is also going to be a 21-kilometer run, walk, or ride, which will be taking place on the 17th and 18th. Please tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, so this is also to honor Nathaniel Julie's memory. So we opted for the 2.1 kilometers and the 21 kilometers in significance to trisomy 21, the condition which causes Down syndrome.
Mhm.
So people can register via the link. They can even go to our Facebook, which is Down Syndrome South Africa. The link will be there. They can register, and they can either opt to do a walk, do a run or to cycle, and then obviously click their preference of whether they want to do the 2.1 kilometers or the 21 kilometers. And this is just basically to raise awareness and to stand in solidarity with the family, and also to ensure that we make enough noise to ensure that justice is brought for Nathaniel Julius.
All right. So thank you so much for your time, Ansela. We're going to leave it there and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, and thank you for giving us the opportunity. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. That was Ansela Ramjas, the National Executive Director for Down Syndrome South Africa. This weekend on the 17th and 18th, the Down Syndrome South Africa organization, including all other member associations in the country, will host a 21-kilometer run, walk and ride, and also a 2.1 kilometer run or walk. The 21 kilometers signified the 21 chromosomes in Down syndrome individuals, whereas most human beings only have two. Also, this will be an initiative to support people with Down syndrome, as well as to show solidarity for people who have been killed due to perhaps police brutality, hospitals, etc., like Nathaniel Julius. Also, it's to highlight that Down syndrome individuals were different, but in a special way, and they should not be sidelined. So if you guys are interested in partaking in the fun run or walk or ride, you can go to Down Syndrome South Africa's social media pages. They are on Facebook, and find the link also, and you will be able to register for that. Do stay with us. We will be right back after the break.